Ah, man, you know, AB, almighty boxer, alligator bites. Adrien the Problem Broner switches things up for this Mikey Garcia training camp. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1.
Close it out.
There you go. That'll way to work. Come on, 5 seconds. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Punch. There you go. Solid through the core. Good. Higher, higher. Get up. There you go. Your nipples to the bar. Come on. There you go. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Good.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, because the likes, they count on YouTube, and it provides me the opportunity to keep bringing more and more and more content. So Adrien the Problem Broner, big fight for him, meaningful fight for his career, and it's against Mikey Garcia, Mexican-American champion at lightweight, who's moving up and then plans to move back down. This is a good fight. You guys seen the clips at the beginning. Give you guys the scoop. Adrien Broner has moved his training camp away from the distractions, the hometown distractions, and he's training in Colorado. Terrence Crawford, for his last fight with Felix Diaz, he also went to Colorado, which is a great location, because I've been to Colorado, went to Denver, covered the fight, and the altitude is crazy. So you can get in some damn good shape because you're so high, you know what I mean, above sea level and whatnot. And when you go to, I don't know where they're gonna fight, they haven't announced it yet, but let's say you go to Las Vegas or New York, the altitude is not going to be the same. So if you could condition yourself to deal with the high altitudes, and what happens when you're in the higher altitudes is it's harder to breathe, fatigue sets in earlier, you know what I mean, and a lot of people have problems. Some people even pass out and things like that when they hike up mountains and things like that. You get lightheaded, different things like that. So if you could survive in those climates and break a sweat and whatnot, then everything else is a breeze. It's like, let's say you're running on a treadmill with the 20-pound weighted vest, right? And you're running at decent speed, 6 miles per hour or whatever. When you take that weighted vest, you're gonna feel light. You take that vest off, you know what I mean? You're like, damn, I feel better. So if you're able to push through your workout with the weighted vest, then you're gonna feel a lot lighter. You know what I mean? When you do without. That's why when I see guys who have speed in the bigger gloves, the bigger ounce gloves, like in sparring and stuff, you know, when they put 8s and 10s on and stuff, that their speed is gonna really be there when the gloves are smaller. It's kind of simple mathematics. So my thoughts on this, I really like Broner's move, because I think Broner, I've interviewed Broner, but I don't know him personally, right? And from what I've seen, you know what I mean, with the public eye shows, I really feel like Broner is he's impressionable, and sometimes being around buddies and people you grew up with, they provide different distractions that we have seen in the past, at least historically, have not been a good thing for Broner, right? He just was in a whip back at home, then he was trying to cross state lines to Kentucky, and his whip was shot up, and police noticed it, and like, whoa, what is this? And then they took him in, right? And that was just recently. And I'm not gonna go through his whole rap sheet about the in and out times of jail and contempt of court and all that, but bottom line is, I like this move from Broner. I think this is a big fight. He said himself, he's tired of coming up short. He's tired of people not giving him the credit, put some respect on his name, and he's gonna need that for Mikey Garcia. He's gonna need this extra fuel and at least have a good performance, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, this is just what I've heard, a lot of people I see in the comment sections, they really don't know how he'll fare at 147, right? There's killers up there. Errol Spence, a guy he's sparred. You got Pacquiao, which would be a difficult stylistic fight for Broner. You got Keith Thurman, 2 belts, hitting hard as fuck, right? So a lot of people don't know how Broner would fare up there. So if he could discipline himself to make 140, I think that's probably more naturally where he should be at. You know what I mean? With his build, he's just real stocky, muscular, stuff like that when he's in shape. And losing to Mikey Garcia would be a major setback, because it would be like, damn, a guy moved up 5 pounds and beat you. You know what I mean? So to get the bigger paydays, Broner has the mouthpiece to sell and things like that. But to continue that, you at least have to have a good showing. Even if you were to lose in a competitive way, you just don't want to have a Chavez Jr. versus Canelo performance, because that wouldn't be good at all for Broner's career. But again, I don't know Broner personally, but it seems like he's susceptible to little distractions. So I like this move for him to get away from the maddening crowd. On one hand, it sucks because his About Billions fighter, Robert Easter Jr., his friend, has a fight coming up. So he probably can't be there to, you know what I mean, check in on his training camp and stuff like that. But y'all both got fights, so you got to do what you got to do. And, you know what I mean, you got to show your support from afar. And to me, this makes the most sense for Broner. It looks like he was doing some core exercises. He was doing some things, explosive movements, and he's going to want all of that for Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, he's a good fighter, but what he does is basic, just basic, and that's all it takes. If you work hard and you're a basic fighter, because my dude, shout out to my dude, Badu Jack, I think he's pretty basic, straight up. He's not like coming in with his hands low like Roy Jones and leaping in with like an uppercut, like crazy, flashy stuff like that. But guys who have basic fundamentals, and this is not a diss, this is my real thoughts. It's guys who have basic fundamentals and a work ethic. You can get far. You can get far with that. You know what I mean? You don't have to have the razzle dazzle like a Broner or Pacquiao or something, and just jump in and do unorthodox things. And you could just be a workman, and that is enough. When you have a grasp of basic boxing, plus you're a workman, and you know what I mean, respectable powers is a plus, things like that, ring IQ, defense, obviously. So Broner has a tough fight. Mikey Garcia is a very good fighter, and he does a lot of the basics very well. He comes from a fight family. I've never really seen him on Queer Street and badly hurt. You know what I mean? The most hurt I've probably seen is when he got his nose broke. He looked kind of out of sorts, but Broner's going to want all of that. He's going to want that umph, because he has to make these rounds emphatic. To me, Mikey Garcia and Broner are both economical. I don't really see either guy as a insane volume puncher like a Leo Santa Cruz or somebody who just throws a million punches. And I'm going to see, I'm going to be anxious to see and curious to see who gets off first and who kind of sets the tone, who's the stalker, who's going to be the counter puncher, and just different nuances in the fight. But I like this from Broner, and I know for a fact Broner has more, he's just more flashy, like the way he fights, his fighting style. He's more explosive, he has more speed, he's naturally fought at and competing at higher weight. So I don't think this is a walkover easy fight for either, especially Mikey Garcia. Even though I probably lean towards him just based on consistency, Broner, if he comes correct, he's definitely not out of it. And for whatever reason, and I can't put too much faith in this, because Broner has said little things in the past where, oh, he got it together, he got his shit straight, and then he does something else. But at least what he's saying is, I'm more mature now, and I want to focus on the second part of my career. So, I mean, I'm just going to encourage that, and we'll have to wait and see what ultimately happens. But this is a good start, moving your training camp. Get away from all the little natty boys and Cincinnati, Ohio distractions and stuff. It's just too comfortable. And certain people, I really believe this, in your personal life, you got to know what makes you tick. You got to know your strengths, and you got to know your weaknesses. Like me, I could procrastinate. You know what I mean? I procrastinate sometimes, especially if I'm ahead or something. Like, I might procrastinate, put something off. And the thing is, not to sound cocky, but I know I'm going to get it done regardless. So sometimes I wait till the last minute because I know I can. I know I could wait till the last minute and still turn in a school paper, you know what I mean, and work on it all night the night before and still get a good grade. That's just how it's been. So I'm trying to improve on that. And the little things, when I see myself procrastinating, I'm like, nah, let me just knock this out, do it right now. And I think that's important for all people, right? Here on the channel, man, Ego, Boxing Ego, we don't just talk about boxing, we talk about life lessons, stuff like that. So I really believe that. I think that for Broner, I think he's a talented fighter. He does have skill, but I want to see that Antonio DeMarco type of performance where I'm just like, whoa. Like, when I seen that, I'm like, damn, this dude is really nice with it. You know what I mean? And it's been a while since we got that. I was at his last fight, Broner Granados. It was a good fight, hard-fought fight. He said he had an injury, but Broner has to know himself enough to know what holds him back, and know himself enough to know what distracts him and what's the best for him. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you, man, when you winning, you winning. Everybody wants to be a part of it. But when you're not, and you're like getting knocked out in fights, which hasn't happened to him at this point of his career or anything, but when you're on the losing side, people bail on you. People don't want to be around quote unquote losers or people who aren't doing good. You know what I mean? Like, who's talking about Chavez Jr. right now? Like, man, I can't wait to see Chavez versus Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez or Badu Jack. Nobody's really talking about those fights because nobody cares. Nobody really wants to see it. He's, after time, he put up dud performances or bad training camps and stuff, so people are kind of just over it. So Broner, he's not in that position yet. You know what I mean? He's still winning, and it's kind of crazy. I was talking to Troy King about this. He only has 2 losses. It's crazy to me how in boxing it seems like some guys might even have, like James Kirkland. It's blew my mind. Broner and James Kirkland have the same amount of losses. Ain't that a trip? That's crazy to me, because when I think of Broner, I think of him as a lot fresher than James Kirkland. You know what I mean? A lot fresher, but they have the same amount of losses. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, these little random boxing facts. Like, I believe Amir Khan has the same amount of knockouts. Like, he's been knocked out the same amount of time as Pacquiao, but it doesn't seem like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy how this stuff works. But I celebrate and like the move from Broner, and that's what it is. I'm gonna let you know what I think, and just keep you guys posted on this fight. It's a good fight. Mikey Garcia, Broner. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.